Well, two things stand out in today's passage, and that is the importance of confessing our sins and the importance of who we marry. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Altar. Today, in the last 5 chapters of Ezra. Ezra is an amazing book. Like I said, it's semi on that verge of historical narrative meets minor prophet, a mix of that. But what we see is the temple is trying to be dedicated. The temple is trying to be built, and they've had some complications of it. And although these are only 10 chapters, they're in 5 chapters today, this is expanding several years. I mean, this isn't like it just happens like that. This is a long time that this has taken. So now the temple is getting ready to be dedicated. The temple is ready to be built, and this celebration maybe. And in Ezra chapter 10, I just want to kind of read a little bit. It says, the people confessed their sin. So in chapter 10, verse 1, it says, while Ezra prayed and made this confession, weeping and lying face down on the ground in front of the temple of God, a very large crowd from Israel, men, women, and children, gathered and wept bitterly with him. And it's just a question, really. But when is the last time that your sin caused you to weep bitterly because you haven't followed God in the way that you should? And just think about that. And really try to draw back in your memory, when is that last time that happened? Has that ever happened to you? And the importance, I believe, of coming down to the altar. And I know I'm a preacher, and so I'll say this and probably just gets ignored because I'm a preacher, so that's fair. But there is an importance, I believe, and this text shows you right there, that they came to the temple and got on their hands and feet, knees, and their face before God and wept and cried and said, God, forgive me for my sin. I think we are so casual. And I love that we're forgiven for our sins. I'm so thankful that we can have, our consciences can be free and clean because of Jesus' blood. I'm so grateful for that. In the same sense, I know how many times do we just take our sin for granted, that God's going to forgive me, so I might as well just do this sin. I know He's going to remove it as far as the east is from the west, which is true, but when's the last, I just can't get over the feeling that we take it way too passively, our sin. And I'm speaking to myself. I know I do. And so I just maybe want to take this moment and just maybe even have a time where we just pray and we confess our sins and we come clean before God. And so it's going to be, I'll play some music in the background, but just right there where you're watching, maybe just as you're on your way to work or watching in the shower, or maybe you're beside your bedside right now, watching it when you get up in the morning or before you go to sleep at night. Just take these next couple of moments and just whatever sin you can think of, think about it. Maybe you want to get on your knees, or maybe you want to, and I know this is crazy, but man, maybe you want to just put pause on this and come to church Sunday and come to the altar and cry out to God and say, God, will you forgive me? Maybe you want to drive over to the church right now on a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday night for me. Whatever night it is for you, come pray. I don't know, but let's go to the Lord in prayer, and then don't log out though, because I do have one more thing I want to say that we see from chapter 10. But let's go to the Lord in prayer and ask for forgiveness.
There can't be no light if darkness don't exist. He never left my side. He showed me the way. Out of all the storms raging at the sea, He gave me back my life. I owe Him everything. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Forever and always I rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Always. He carried me to shore, held me through the pain. He loved me at my worst. I thank Him every day. I will put Him first, 'cause He did that for me. He sacrificed Himself so I could find my peace. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Forever and always I rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Always put joy to His name every single day, 'cause He never left our sight. He showed us the way. Rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Forever and always. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. In the name of the Lord. There can't be no light if darkness don't exist. He never left my side. He showed me the way.
Well, I think that moment probably could have lasted forever, to be honest with you. But I do want to kind of finish up with this. It says, the guilty, verse 18, the guilty of intermarriage. So it says, these are the priests who had married pagan wives. And it names all the priests who had married these pagan wives. And at the end it says, some of them even had children with them. So it shows us the importance of not being unequally yoked. So a lot of people probably, this may not register with you, but if you are 21, 22, 23, 18 even, and you're dating that and you found that significant other, and just be sure, and maybe even if you're single and you're looking for somebody, I'm thinking of someone who is desperately looking for somebody else maybe to find. Be sure that you don't settle. And I'm not saying have unrealistic expectations. I'm not saying that either. But it says don't be unequally yoked in the Bible. This says don't marry somebody who's a pagan. Pagan means just that they worshiped an idol. So it's the importance of finding somebody who's also a fellow believer in Jesus Christ. That is so important. That is so important that you do that. And I don't think you should ever date I think it's called dating to marry, but like you don't want to date somebody who I'm not gonna marry them, but they're a good time and they're funny and they make me laugh, so I'm just gonna date them anyways. I've talked to so many people, and like I knew who they were. We started dating. I knew who they were, but I thought I could change them, and I fell in love with them, and now they are who they are, and now we're doing like that is a conversation that I probably have. I'm not even kidding. At least once a month, if not every week. It's over and over and over. Why? Because it's just the importance of learning to date to marry, finding somebody who is in love with God, who loves Christ with all their heart, and that's who we want to go after. Not having unrealistic expectations. They don't have to be Brad Pitt with blue eyes and all that great stuff, and has a personality like Mother Teresa. But we are looking for somebody who does serve God and is in love with Jesus Christ. And we're not going to settle for anything else. I don't think that's settling. That's actually being intentional about who we do life with. And that is very, very, very important. So those are a couple things that I got out of Ezra 10. Thank y'all so much. And look, I'll see y'all tomorrow. We're going to be in Nehemiah. So Ezra and Nehemiah, kind of similar. We're going to be on part 2 of the same story. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. And until then, peace.